Amazon is more than just a company. It's a force of nature. It's the everything store that delivers your life in a box. The tech innovator that powers half the internet. And the empire built by Jeff Bezos. Look at their logo. That subtle smile is also an arrow pointing from A to Z. A simple and brilliant promise that you can find literally everything you need on their site. But the real story of how they became a trillion-dollar giant isn't what you'd expect. It's a tale of spectacular failures that became game-changing breakthroughs, of audacious gambles that seemed insane, and of quiet strategic moves that reshaped entire industries. We'll uncover the hidden lessons that allowed them to build a business empire, and we're starting with what might be the most embarrassing failure in Amazon's history, that somehow became their greatest success. Trust me, this gets wild. Cast your mind back to 1999. At the height of the dot-com boom, Amazon decides it's going to take on the king of online auctions, eBay, with something called Amazon Auctions. And boy, was it a complete and spectacular flop. A complete mess. Poor user experience, technical glitches that would make a dial-up connection look smooth, and operational chaos. Customers fled back to eBay almost immediately. But here's where Amazon's story gets fascinating. Instead of pretending this disaster never happened, they dug deep into the wreckage and realized their internal infrastructure was fundamentally broken. Every time they tried to launch a new feature or service, they had to start from scratch. It was slow, inefficient, and bleeding money. From those ashes rose AWS, Amazon Web Services. Initially, it was just a humble internal solution built to fix their own operational mess. The idea was simple, but revolutionary. Instead of building custom systems for every single project, they would build a flexible, modular infrastructure and rent it out to their own internal teams. By 2006, Amazon had a brilliant realization. If their internal teams could benefit from this powerful infrastructure, why couldn't everyone else? AWS was publicly launched, democratizing access to enterprise-grade technology and becoming the invisible backbone powering a huge chunk of the internet. The lesson here for any business is profound. Amazon didn't just fail fast. They treated failure as an expensive but an invaluable education. They solved their own problem, then monetized that solution. This is a key part of their business model: turn an internal inefficiency into an external, profitable product. Now, let's talk about two Amazon inventions that show both its genius and its blind spots: the Kindle and Alexa. The Kindle story is peak Amazon magic. Back in 2007, Amazon secretly built a device that even some insiders thought was a corporate suicide. I mean, imagine the world's biggest bookseller saying, "You know what would be great? If people stopped buying our books and started downloading them instead." But Bezos was playing chess while everyone was stuck on checkers. The Kindle was a Trojan horse for digital domination. Amazon sold it cheap, not to make money on the hardware, but to lock down the entire ebook ecosystem. Seamless store integration, revolutionary e-ink, and suddenly Amazon owned digital reading the way they once owned physical books. And then there was Alexa. If the Kindle was Amazon's way of replacing your bookshelf, Alexa was its way of moving into your living room. Literally. Suddenly, you have a digital roommate who always listens, never pays rent, and occasionally plays your favorite playlist when you ask. At launch in 2014, Alexa felt something you'd expect on Star Trek, not your kitchen counter. You could talk to this sleek cylinder and it actually understood you. Timers, music, the weather. But here's the kicker. While Alexa was brilliant technically, it came with a teeny tiny flaw. Nobody could figure out how to make real money from it. Millions used it for trivia, alarms, or asking it if it would rain. But buying stuff, the thing that Amazon really wanted you to do, not so much. And that's the contrast. The Kindle was a business model in disguise. A platform play that made Amazon the gatekeeper of digital publishing. Alexa, for all its futuristic cool, became a technology in search of a profitable vision. It's the difference between inventing a product and inventing a business. Here's the secret. When Amazon launched Prime in 2005, internally codenamed Project Futurama, most people thought Jeff Bezos had lost his mind. Consider the logic. Promising to ship millions of products quickly and reliably for just $99 a year, the logistics alone seemed impossible. The financial model looked insane. It was a massive loss leader. But Bezos wasn't thinking about immediate profits. He was focused on customer psychology. Prime was about fundamentally changing how people shop by making it frictionless. By offering a compelling value proposition that no one else could match, Amazon were literally selling convenience as a lifestyle. And wow, did it work! Prime didn't just succeed, it completely rewired customer expectations. Today, two-day shipping isn't a luxury, it's the bare minimum. Amazon simply redefined what convenience means and created a trench around their business that's nearly impossible to cross. Prime members spend significantly more on the platform, making the loss leader a wildly profitable customer lock-in tool. But how does a company keep making these impossible bets and somehow keep winning? The answer lies in something most people never see. If you want to understand Amazon's success, forget about the technology for a moment. The real secret is happening in windowless conference rooms every week. They're called weekly business reviews, WBRs, and they are not your typical corporate meetings. These are strategic battlegrounds where every decision gets dissected, every assumption gets challenged, and nothing gets a free pass. Instead of PowerPoint slides, meetings begin with everyone silently reading 6-page narrative memo for about 20 to 30 minutes. This forces teams to think clearly, articulate their strategy in writing, and prevents groupthink. This intense internal culture, built on principles like disagree and commit, and organized around 2 pizza teams small enough to be fed by 2 pizzas, consistently produces the kind of innovative thinking that turned a bookstore into a cloud computing empire. It's a culture of radical candor and data-driven accountability that provides a strong foundation for taking huge, calculated risks. This is perhaps the most valuable lesson. Amazon's culture is, in fact, a strategic weapon. By building a system that rewards clear, data-backed thinking and empowers small, autonomous teams, they've created a machine that can innovate at scale. This confidence allowed them to make moves that seemed completely insane to outsiders. Case in point, 2017. Amazon shocks everyone by acquiring Souk.com for $580 million. Most Western analysts were baffled. Why enter a market with complex logistics and different consumer habits when Europe and Asia were still ripe for expansion? But this wasn't a random market grab. This was vintage Amazon strategic thinking. Internally, they had mapped out massive long-term potential in the Middle East, a young, mobile-first population with rapidly growing middle class. The acquisition of Souk wasn't just about gaining a foothold. It was about buying the existing infrastructure, local knowledge, and customer trust to accelerate their entry. The immediate impact was huge. Amazon's entry didn't just add another market. It elevated the entire regional tech ecosystem. Logistics standards improved overnight. Payment systems became more sophisticated. User experiences jumped forward by years. Classic Amazon. Enter a market not just to compete, but to completely redefine what's possible. Now here's where the story gets really interesting. While everyone's been watching the AI drama between ChatGPT and Google, Amazon's been playing a completely different game. One that's much more strategic. In 2025, AWS announced an additional $100 million investment in their Generative AI Innovation Center. But here's the thing. They're not trying to build the flashiest consumer chatbot. They're building the infrastructure that powers everyone else's AI dreams. Remember that old Amazon playbook? While competitors fight over the spotlight, Amazon quietly becomes the thing everyone depends on. AWS now offers massive compute clusters and custom chips that enable cutting-edge AI ML workloads. Basically, they are building the digital equivalent of an electricity grid for the AI age. And about Alexa, we're now seeing the conversation pivot to Alexa Plus, a new upgraded version powered by this very same generative AI infrastructure. The future of voice AI might not be asking for the weather. It might be a sophisticated, context-aware assistant that finally solved that. How do we make money from this problem? Here's what Amazon's hidden story really reveals. The biggest innovations often look like the worst ideas at first. An auction site that failed became cloud computing. A crazy shipping guarantee became customer obsession. A voice assistant with no clear business model is now the foundation for their next AI leap. The pattern is always the same. Fail fast, learn faster, and never be afraid to completely reinvent yourself. Experiment boldly, learn fast, and always anchor innovation to what creates real value for customers. At Ziwo, that's exactly how we've grown. We set out to rethink customer experience in the Middle East, not just with flashy AI, but with a platform that genuinely helps businesses connect better with their customers. Because just like Amazon proved, technology is all about the experience. If you want to know more about what we do, check the link in the description. If these hidden Amazon insights blew your mind, hit that subscribe button and give this video a like. And here's a question for you. Which Amazon failure do you think will become their next billion-dollar breakthrough? Drop your predictions in the comments below. Until next time, stay curious.